Okay then, let's get this party started. I've got one panel pretty much good to go. I got the next panel out to do still. Maybe I'll do another speed run on this one too. Not much to talk about. It's early in the morning. Well, it's not really early. It's 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. I'm really getting into inking. Inking is one of those skills where if you just start doing it really for serious, I think you will improve. Um, One thing I noticed, there's a lot of inkers, guys who are mostly known for inking, who aren't that good as artists. Which makes me think, and their inks are good. They're good at inking other people's art. Which makes me think the thought process is entirely different. The process for art um, is like the pure creative state. It requires a tremendous amount of like technical know-how and discipline, and you're bringing forth something from nowhere. But with ink, you're doing refining, which is different. It's a different thing. Different state of mind. That's too thick. And anyway, I do think that getting good at inking could make you a better artist, and being good at art would make you a better inker, which would seem to contradict the idea of those inkers that aren't super great as artists, but they're really good inkers. Like maybe they'll develop into that later on or something. All right, this is a thumb. And then this finger's up here. I think we're getting close to there. My idea with this line right here, you see how I did this curve here? It's just to make the arm bent this way, like kind of coming towards you. I'm not sure it's working, so I'm going to have to look at it without the pencil lines on. It's not bad. It's close enough. All right. Now with this, the light is going to be this power that's coming out of his, here. So we're going to do hatching towards the light. And I think we're even do hatching on this side of the nose. I always avoid hatching on the face, but not because I shouldn't do it, but because I don't know how to do it really well. All right, so let's do this. And then we want to shadow back there, shadow back there, shadow back here, shadow back here. All right, and we're going to do some cross hatching. Your hatching is going one way, cross hatching is going the other way, but it's not a straight grid, it's a diamond shape. All right, well, that's what it is. And then this isn't like a blast, I think it's too high because I have my words up there, so I'm going to have to curtail some of this. I will stop you. There we go. You never know. So the trick is to use, this is in italic with italic bold for the spell. So we're giving clues to the way he's saying the line, so that when you're reading it, maybe when you're reciting it in your head, you can see that it takes on a different tone. All right. No, I'm going to do this on a different. Oh, whoops, that's still good. I'm back to Inky, but I'm going to do a different layer. The layer is going to be centered on that dot right there. Oops. In this action scene. see what it looks like. Hopefully it looks cool. Let's make the magic effect have even more wisps. Oh, I think I did some of it on this bubbles layer. Am I right about that? No, it's okay. So it's on the ink layer. I should be on the ink layer too. I don't know if it works. Hmm. One thing we could do to get back to the other layer, we could do a gradient from white to dark. I'm doing this on the other layer just in case I mess it up. This is what I use the extra layers for. So one of the things I learned is like in traditional media, when you're doing this sort of close fill with a brush, you can do it with we can do it with a brush or a nib pen. That is like a skill in itself. Nib pens aren't really meant to do fills. Although you once in a while you'll be doing something with a nib pen, you're like, I should fill it in. You'll just start filling it in. But it might not be the best idea to do that. I've done it. I've succumbed to the temptation. It's best to get out a brush and just do the fill that way because, among other things, you're tearing up the Bristol with your nib pen. Does it work? I don't know if it works. Maybe if I extend it out further. When we have a thing like this, we're not trying to show that the black is literally there. This is kind of like how Ditko would use cartoon language. Like when Ditko would show half the Spider-Man face when he was having an internal struggle over, I can't let Betty Brant know that I'm really Spider-Man. And he would show half the Spider-Man face there. What he was showing is that he was torn between doing the things as Spider-Man and also being a student or also trying to have a Peter Parker love life or whatever else it was he had, you know? And Ditko was so good at this. I just saw Tom Sholey, who I quite like. Uh, Tom Sholey just started this feature called Ditcore, and it's just going to be like Ditko stuff. I really appreciate that. Um, went over, you know, probably Ditko's best Spider-Man issue, which is 33. It's the one where he's trapped under the machinery. And when he's trapped under the machinery, there's like a 6-page sequence where he's trapped under the machinery and he's having this dialogue, this inner dialogue with himself. And he sees these faces of Aunt May lying in the hospital and Uncle Ben dying. And they aren't literally there, of course. He's just hallucinating, but they're drawn on the page, like floating heads. I don't think it works. I'm looking at this. Let's erase. Oh no. Okay. That's all right. I could do the same trick here, but over here, but I don't think I want to. I think we're just gonna leave it as it is. Let's go ahead and do the next one. Start the next one. In the next page, the banishment spell has an effect. I was kind of waking up this morning and I was thinking, what would the. I'm on the layer 14, but that's fine. What would the effect of the banishment be? Now, if you know anything about Prometheus, so this is all taking place on Mount Lycaon, which is a sacred mountain of Zeus in Arcadia. And what he's doing is, because Stardust has kind of desecrated the mountain by attempting to murder um, in this case, Ebrax's banishment spell is working. He's invoking the power of Zeus. But if you know anything about Prometheus from mythology, the whole thing that got Prometheus stuck on the rock was Zeus too. So there's got to be consequences for him as well, even though he's kind of the victim here. One of the consequences will be, well, it's not really a consequence. What the banishment does is it sends the otherworldly being home, right? So if this were a demon, they would go back to where they came from. Stardust has been trying to get back home to a place called the Bright Realm. It's in the first few pages of this. So unwittingly, even though he's saved the situation with his banishment spell, Abrax has sent Stardust to his own realm, where the whole reason that Stardust wanted to get to his own realm is he had this plan for bringing back Cronus, father of the Titans. So unwittingly, Abrax has actually helped him. And I'm wondering if I should actually. I think I need to devote a couple of pages to that, or at least a page, of him ending up in the Bright Realm. I'm also looking at this and I'm thinking, it's definitely a light source. Do I need to shadow back here? Might have to. That is. Okay, let's bring back ink. What am I at, 22 minutes? I can still go for a little bit. Let's see. Gosh, what spittle takes over. I'm hoping that won't be too hardcore of an effect. I'm looking at this now. Right, Now, one problem I think is I might have the eyes a little bit too far apart. And I think I can fix that a little bit by changing this energy area. See, kid, this is why you have to do more finished pencil drawings, because don't be like me and try to fake it in at the end. What I do, man? Too much emphasis on the ears, I think. And his neck is too big. How am I going to fix this? One way to fix it is bring back pencil layer. Well, I'll tell you what, let's trust the process and see how far it takes us, because let me draw the collar. More like I'm saying collar, but this part of the costume, I guess we would call it the collar, the opening. That gives us more information about where the body is. Where everything starts and stops. Yeah. I tend to draw Stardust with too big of a head. It says my screen time is down this week. What? My problem is I think I've made him too long. These arms should be a little bit higher. I think that one's okay. And summoning is very painful. Okay, now I might have to redraw the figure drawing, but I think I'm generally in the right proportions. I've got to figure out where the crotch ends here. Snap. And it's a matter of getting the arms and legs, and we'll get the legs in. Legs aren't going to be complete legs because there's this swoosh of energy that's coming in. And there's even, let's go to layer 14 for this. I'm going to have to redo this lettering, but I'm going to put it on this layer for right now. Big sound effect. All right, we're going to continue working on this. Please like, follow, and subscribe. This battle is coming to an end. And the twist here is that even though Stardust loses, he kind of wins because he gets what he was looking for in the end, which was to get back to the Bright Realm. He's being banished there. And Prometheus kind of wins too because he gets to live, because the whole point was to kill him and take his armbands, which would have allowed passage to the Bright Realm. Anyway, please like, follow, and subscribe, and I will see you later with more